quick plug before we get started. Go ahead and follow your boy on Instagram. I will be doing a early season Q&A as the games are on tonight. The NBA season is back and your boy's hype, and I think it's a great way to start it off. And also, I just got some fire ass pictures on there. Go ahead and follow your boy. A wise man once said, with great power comes great responsibility. One of the corniest openings I've ever had to this channel, next to Drake. Do not do it. I repeat, do not do it. This is not a drill. But seriously, this is a phrase that has a lot of meaning in the NBA. Some players are clearly better and more talented than others, and what comes with that are big responsibilities. There is a certain standard that stars are held to, and with how dynamic the NBA is with stars changing teams, injuries, and the end goal of being an NBA champion in June, there is something that every star player in the league must prove to the rest of the world. And that is what we'll talk about today as we talk about what every top 10 player in the NBA must prove this season. But before we get into that, I want to thank the sponsors of this video, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an app that gets prices from all over the web and puts them into one app so you can find the best deals for whatever event you want to go to. They've made the whole ticket buying process very easy and intuitive. All you have to do is look up the event you want to go to, and it gives every ticket that's available a score of 1 to 10. And then it shows you a color-coded map with the best deals marked with a dark green dot and the worst deals marked with a red dot. I use it to go to a Pistons versus Celtics game last year, and I'll definitely be using it to go to another game this season. But thanks to SeatGeek, they've allowed you to do the same thing, but $20 cheaper. All you have to do is use the code BSOS to get $20 off your first purchase, and there you go. Shout out to SeatGeek again for sponsoring this video. LeBron James. LeBron James is widely regarded as the best player in the world, and with that comes the highest of standards and the biggest of expectations. Some would even say unachievable standards. And with LeBron making his way to LA, playing for the LA Lakers, the one question that everyone is asking about LeBron is how will he do in the tough Western Conference? One of, if not the biggest knock on LeBron's career is that yes, he has been dominating the league and going to the finals on literally a yearly basis now, but who is he actually going through? Many, including myself, have made the argument that LeBron's career and legacy has heavily benefited off of playing in one of the most inferior conferences in league history. And if LeBron's legacy is about being so valuable, despite him teaming up with 2 top 15 players on both occasions he switched teams, and if his biggest accomplishment is his precious final streak, and as soon as he goes to the tougher West, the first time in his career he makes a move where he is truly the only all-star to join the team, and he struggles to make the playoffs, dare I say miss it? I don't know, man, that's a little sus, LeBron fans, that's all I'm saying. But this is exactly what LeBron has to prove to everyone. How he can be successful even in the tough Western Conference, and that he isn't just a player who's made a top 3 all-time career on feasting on a weak conference. Kevin Durant. It's kind of hard for Kevin Durant to prove anything when the one thing we want him to prove us, he has to be on another team to do. But for me, if there's anything he has to prove specifically this season, is to somehow prove to us that he is the best player in the world. I do believe he has closed the gap between him and LeBron to a lot of people after the last 2 finals, winning finals MVP both times, and also due to his ascension on the defensive end as LeBron declines on that end as well. But I honestly don't know how he can prove people that he is the best in the world, barring any catastrophic injury to Steph Curry and any of the other Big 4 members. But there is a certain bar that if KD passes, regardless of what team he's on, that he may very well be considered the best player in the world despite being on this stacked ass team. Like if KD just comes out and averages 30 points on 55, 40, 90, 8 rebounds and 6 assists a game while being a force on the defensive end, I don't give a damn what team he's on. That is the best player in the world. Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry, I believe, proved last year that he is by far the best point guard in the league. And the one thing that everyone is just dying for him to get is that elusive finals MVP. Because despite Curry putting up massive averages in the finals the past 2 years, they just simply haven't been enough to win finals MVP. A large part of that is because this guy is on his team putting up these numbers and doing these type of things.
Kevin Durant way outside, delivers! Kevin Durant from downtown, it's a 6-point game.
But Curry has reached the standard where he isn't just competing to be the best point guard in the league. He's trying to be in the running for the best point guard of all time. And his case will just be so much better with multiple finals MVPs. Anthony Davis. If we're keeping it a buck, it's the Pelicans that have to prove something to Anthony Davis, not the other way around. He really has nothing to prove aside from maybe his health, which has been fine the past 2 years. But if there was one thing he could prove this season, it could be winning the MVP and establishing himself into, or on his way into, the conversation with the greatest power forwards of all time with Charles Barkley and Karl Malone. Because purely talent-wise, some have already made the claim that AD only comes second to the great Tim Duncan. The only thing missing now are the accolades. And I know I said I had Kawhi or Kyrie winning the MVP this year because of their chances of putting up great stats with a great record on top of it. But if there was one guy that can have such a monstrous season that will lead to a top 4 record in the league despite the parts around him, a la KG in 2004, Allen Iverson in 2001, LeBron in 2009, it would be Anthony Davis and Giannis. And speaking of, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is one of a kind. How can someone be that big and long, pause, and have that quickness, handle, and drive for greatness? It's crazy. But Giannis does have a decent amount to prove, at least to me. But more than shooting, I think the one thing he needs to prove is that his numbers can lead to wins. Because yes, I understand that Jabari was injured last year, and so was Malcolm Brogdon for a majority of the season, but let's keep it a buck. Let me chill. Many were expecting more than the 7th seed from the Bucks last year, but now we're back with a good coach in Mike Budenholzer. Chris Middleton has emerged as a clear star beside Giannis. I know Brook Lopez isn't a star player and anything to brag about, but he should provide better spacing than John Henson. If Giannis can show that he can fit within the system, make the necessary adjustments in his game to lead to more wins, that'll be huge. Kawhi Leonard. Okay, I think for Kawhi it's pretty simple, so let me just, make it quick and simple. Is Kawhi still Kawhi? We haven't really seen Kawhi in over a year now, and the question is, after all the drama that ensued in San Antonio, is Kawhi still the top 3 to 5 player that we viewed him as in 2017? Or is he something a little bit less? From what we've seen, he looks the same. If anything, I see more explosion from Kawhi, but it is just preseason and we will see this season how Kawhi looks. James Harden. Again, quick and simple. We know James Harden will have a great regular season and stuff the stat sheet. And as a matter of fact, I think Harden is in the perfect situation to win the MVP every single year, as long as the Rockets are good and the voter fatigue didn't exist. But the playoffs, I'm still waiting for the postseason run where all that regular season hype and all that regular season play carries over. Because there has literally never been a year in Harden's career where he has not choked or underperformed. None. Kyrie Irving. The biggest question with Kyrie has to be health. This is a guy that has only had 3 seasons out of his 7 seasons in the league where he has played 70 plus games. One of them being 2015, where we all know he got injured in the finals, making it really only 2 healthy seasons for Kyrie. We just can't keep using the excuse of, oh, but they didn't have Kyrie, when the history is there and the signs are there that injuries will be part of the package for the Boston Celtics after they did that trade. So the question for Kyrie that he has to answer is if he can stay healthy throughout the season and the playoffs, which also ties into the question of if he's worthy of the supermax that he's going to be searching for in the offseason next year. Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook has a lot of questions to answer for me, but I think in general the one thing he has to prove is some sort of change in his game that will lead to more team success, especially in the postseason. Whether it be limiting the turnovers, increasing his efficiency, becoming a better off-ball player, playing smart defense, making better decisions in the clutch, whatever it might be, Russell Westbrook has to show some sort of improvement in his game that will make the Thunder a more cohesive unit and less reliant on him, therefore, in my opinion, proving that he has become a better player. Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has already proven that the talent is there. However, again, the question remains about his health. Well, yes, he played 60 games last year. That's only considered the healthy season because it's Embiid, and anything over 50 games is healthy for this man. He has to prove that last year wasn't just an anomaly and the healthiest we'll ever see him, but that he can be a dependable guy that can play 70 plus games a season. Alright, but I think that'll be it for today's video. So if you like the video, man, smack that like button. You already know what's up. And also, follow me on Instagram at bsouls. Like I said in the end of the last video, I'm trying to connect with you guys more as me, not just, you know, the guy that makes the NBA videos. And I think, you know, that's one of, if not the only outlet I have to do just that, because on Twitter I'm expected to, you know, put up NBA content. On YouTube, you already know, I tried vlogging before, and let's just, that flopped. Yeah, that flopped. But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I am out. Peace.